Park District will not be moving forward at this time, 6:02. Roll call, please.
Sykes?
Yes, sir.
Goodwin? Here. Newton?
Here.
Solosky? Here. Hurtado?
Here. All right, this, Commissioner,
I pledge allegiance to my flag, the United States of America, which it stands, to the republic with which it stands, justice. One nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
do I have a motion to approve tonight's agenda?
I'll second.
Discussions? There are none? Roll call.
Sykes? Goodwin?
Yes.
Newton? Solosky? Yes. Hurtado?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Commissioner Lewin, do you have any comments?
I just have one with the new logo. I missed last month's meeting, so I don't know if there was an actual logo presentation. But at this time, I don't think we should be doing that because it costs a lot with new signs and new details and uniforms and so on and so forth. And I think a better thing if we were going to go forward with it would have been do like a high school art contest and let the art students come up with something, make it more of a community event. That's just my 2 cents.
Yeah, there was a presentation made on the last month's meeting. The way it's going to roll out the logo is the staff came up with this new idea of the logo. We didn't see any issue in that. And it's got the way it's going to roll out is we've got new signs going to be made. It's going to have a new logo. And they all the existing signs and put a new logo. So everything is kind of new. It's going to have a new logo. It's just going to be designed. That's what we did. So it was a staff decision. So we wanted to know. This time, we'd like to have any members of the public who'd like to address the board. Any comments? That's the hall, right?
Correct. Good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you for the opportunity to speak. I'm here in regards to item number G on your actions item is the termination of the lease on vacant land. We would be the people leasing the land, that is St. John Church. And this has been a project which began with discussions over 2 years ago. And not only discussion, but some definite plans and actions. We've been pretty much sharing the costs 50-50 with the Park District. We probably have $30,000 worth of engineering done on the full development of the park and how it is to be graded. We probably have several $1,000s worth of legal work to divide the lots for the permanent disposition of lot number 2 and the parking to the Park District when the park is built. And the vision of this project was to have a partnership between the public and private. Our land is vacant. It's going to be 5-10 years at least till it's developed in any way. And we approached the Park District to say, well, could you use it as open space? And in fact, the north end of our property, we would be willing to donate permanently to the district for development as a park site. And at that time, it was expressed that there wasn't a lot of park presence in the southern part of the district, and that there were certain things that were missing in the overall park development, including an inline hockey park and some sand volleyball courts. And eventually, these were made into a plan, and there was extensive community involvement with the neighboring subdivisions, extensive canvassing with the Brookside subdivision. Hundreds and hundreds of hours of work, thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. And I wonder, I'm here to ask the question, why this partnership is ending. And a second very important question is, why nobody called St. John? I learned about this motion on the internet.
Thank you, Pastor. Anybody else from the public would like to address the?
Brenda? Oh, go ahead, Brenda, I was looking for you, sorry.
Brenda Morris, I don't necessarily have a public comment. I simply have a handout that I want to make sure that you get. My mom always taught me, if you're going to bring something, make sure you have enough for everyone. And unfortunately, I may not, because I wasn't expecting this many people. But there are certain numbers here I want to make sure you get it, because you're referenced in this, and I don't think it's fair because it's got your name on it. So I'll do that first. And then, okay, I think I have everybody, so you guys can just hand them out, and then everybody, how required, to get a copy. Thank you.
Could you hold that for me?
Hi, everybody. I'm Vicki Polito, and I just wanted to add on to Brenda's statement that not only did she give you a handout, but I want to be sure, I want to see that in the public record for the meeting. That's just not casual interest. That's a document that belongs in the public record.
Thank you. Anyone else?
My name is Sarah Hickman. I am the current president of the Brookside Homeowners Association. We are adjacent to the St. John's property. My name is Sarah Hickman, and I'm the president of the Homeowners Association. I'm here to listen and hear what is going on for our homeowners, because we as well were not notified in any way that there was going to be a change. In the past, there has been fantastic communication with Cameron Benton in the process of this project. He has been very willing to communicate with everyone, our homeowners. At any time that they had a question, he was willing to answer it. But something, we were not given any notice. We're very disappointed in that.
Anybody else who would like to address the board? Any other public comments? Any other public comments? Hearing none? All right. Move on. I don't have any comments for the person comments. There a motion to approve for tonight's consent agenda. Motion.
Disgusting.
Roll call, please.
Stiles? Rudolph? Yes. Rudy?
Yes.
Solosky? Yes.
Staff report. Maureen?
In your packet is a copy of the 2013 tax year levy draft. We'll walk you through that. It's the same format that we used probably for the past 20 years. So I'll just walk you through that. On page 1, it goes, your 2012 levy expenditure was $4,231,093.84. So what we do is we take the 2012 CPI, which is 1.7%, and that gives you $71,000, which is your what is available to you for our on our old property. If you add those two numbers together, you're at $4,303,000 and change. Our estimated EAV this year total is $2,2billion,661,865. Our new growth estimate is $12 million, and that's an estimated 5% reduction in our total EAV over 2012. That is based on numbers from the Plainfield Township, which is the majority of our district that it lies within. And then you just go through the levy rate calculation, which is basically applying the tax cap to the levy, and we're coming up a maximum estimated levy of $4,326,000. And then if you go to page 2, we just have it broken out by fund. And this is just our corporate and special purpose fund. So it doesn't include bonds and interest because that number is already calculated by the counties. And it also doesn't include special recreation in the cap amount because that is outside of the tax cap. So we were looking at a total of $4,298,231.72 for our cap funds.
And that would include no levy for the police fund because that police agreement has been renegotiated, and no levy for unemployment insurance. We don't need it at this time because there is a balance in that fund. Our bonds, that's our debt service payment, is $865,000 for next fiscal year. And then our total proposed 2013 levy would be $5,703,428.72. If you notice on the first page, our estimated maximum levy is $4,326,000. So we're actually levying for less than the maximum allowable in our capped funds. The direction that I had received was to keep the tax rate, to keep the tax extension the same dollar amount we're requesting from the county as we had extended in 2012. So if you look to page 3, this would be just an example of an average homeowner within the district. For a fair market value of a home in 2012, they would have paid approximately $188.15 based on our 2012 rate of 0.2433. And then in 2013, if that property value doesn't decrease and the fair market value stays the same at $250,000, the estimated proposed park district tax would be $196.81. Based on the current market in Plainfield Township and the average decrease overall is 5% in the equalized assessed valuation. If you take that decrease and put that on a $250,000 house, you're actually looking at $186.21 if an individual house assessed valuation went down 5% as well. We don't know if that's going to happen because each individual property has a different assessed valuation and their property is going to either go up, down, or stay the same. We don't have control over that. So we're estimating the average house, if their property goes down 5%, it would be $186.21. Realistically, it's going to fall somewhere between $186.21 and the $196.81. It will fall somewhere in there, keeping our total requested dollars the same as the prior year. So you can see that example on here. So if a property did go down by 5%, we were looking at a $1.94 decrease in the actual taxes that property would pay. Again, it's an estimate. If you flip to page 4, you can see what actually in 2012 the district received in taxes from Will and Kendall County, and those are by fund and then also by total as well. So you'll see on the bottom there the total extension last year was $5,703,428.72, and then we're also requesting that same dollar amount this year. But you do see, because the assessed valuation is going down in the district, that puts pressure on the tax rate to actually increase the tax rate from the prior year because the assessed valuation is going down. So that's how the formula works. So that's just kind of a short, brief summary. Were there any questions about that estimate now?
I just have one, like Social Security is showing to be much less. Is there?
What we do by fund is every year we take a look at how much money we have available in that fund as of the end of August, because that's the last full month we have. So it would be August of 2013. We estimate our expenses through the end of the current fiscal year. And then we see what our estimated expenses will be for next fiscal year. So based on that, we had a surplus in the Social Security fund, so we're levying less.
That's not an amount we can usually control, so that's why I was curious.
Right, it's just because we would have a surplus at the end of this current fiscal year, so then we levy for less, so we're not over levying in any particular fund.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And usually the assessor office knowledge is going to be an average of 5%.
An average of 5% overall within our district. So each.
Do you just take the number from the year?
No, the assessor, I am assuming not, because they would probably have more insight to that number than I would. So.
Sounds good. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Any other questions? Fire report.
Here's
administration report for staff reports with ways that we've received for the month. We received 2 in September, as you can see, and we received 1 in August, which carried over in September. I was directed by my supervisor to start keeping track of how many man hours it takes. So we have an estimate how many hours our attorney puts into it as well. These are just rough numbers. One of these actually came out less than what we estimated. The reason that the first one was so much was because we did have to print almost 2,000 pages of email, so we could read them and see if we got a redact item. That's why that one was so high. And then Garrett gets back in town, we're going to talk about whether or not to put the responses on the website as well. Initially he said no, but I think we'll go ahead and do that.
No, no report, they're not in session.
All right, let's go to the action items. So we have action item A. Oh, second motion to remove the bid award for the fall 2013 seal coating is stricken from the table. Do we have a motion?
I'd like to make a motion.
Do we have a second? Roll call, please.
Stein?
Yeah.
Ludeman?
Yes.
Newton?
Yes.
Solosky? Yes. Furtado?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Action item B, seeking a motion to reject all the bids for the fall 2013 seal coating is stricken. Do we have a motion?
I'd like to make a motion.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Discussion.
Are we rejecting or are we awarding?
We were rejecting according to, we got a memo there from Karen.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the other thing.
Yeah.
And it's getting too cold, is that the reason we're gonna hold on?
That's mainly the main reason. It's just, the weather's great right now, it can turn when that gets done, so.
And we're missing protecting it before this winter cause any harm?
No, I mean, crack filling would help, if need be, but, we've got a lot of areas that we don't seal coat, because we're on a rotating basis, so.
Any other discussions? No? Roll call, please.
Stein?
No.
Ludeman?
Yes.
Newton?
So we're voting to reject.
Right, voting to reject.
Motion is to reject.
Right,
To
voting
reject.
Right, yes.
Let me get it counted. Because it's on me right here, it's 6.
Yeah, yes, that's all.
It was tabled as to
Right.
the bids.
Right.
It's not on this thing.
Gotcha.
Okay, I vote yes.
So the motion was to reject the alternates. So roll call.
Sorry, Stein?
Yeah.
Ludeman?
Yes.
Newton?
Yes.
Solosky?
Yes.
Furtado?
Yes.
Motion carries.
That's right.
All right. Action item C, seeking the motion to remove bid award for the 2013 Oxley-Low Boy Scouts Streams and Wayne Creek Path improvement from the table. Do we have a motion?
I'd like to make that motion.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Roll call.
Stein?
Yeah.
Ludeman?
Yes.
Newton?
Yes.
Solosky?
Yes.
Furtado?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Here, action item D, seeking a motion to reject all the bids award for the 2013 Oxley-Low Boy Scout stream in the Wayne Creeks Path improvement. Do we have a motion?
I'd like to make that motion.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Discussions.
I would just like to say that going forward, if there's questions, because I understand this was from September's meeting, that as board members, we meet with staff ahead of time to prevent not being able to do our routine maintenance because of delaying it into the late season like this.
Right, that's what we just started a new commission, the one you missed the meeting last night, so that's hopefully that's the issue we have with the new committee, so we can deal with all the stuff and we don't have this discussion. All right, any other discussions? Okay, none, roll call please.
Stein?
Yeah.
Ludeman?
Yes.
Newton.
Yes.
Solosky. Hurtado.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item item E, seeking motion to award the bid for the two new 2013-2014 three-quarter ton 4x2 regular cab fixed-side pickup truck with the lift gates. Do I have a motion? Discussion.
In the memo, it says that these are not on the city contract, is that correct?
Gene, can you answer that?
I didn't see anything there that was comparable.
What makes them uncomparable? Because I looked at the city contract today that they have.
Basically, the lift gate was the big issue. The $8,000 for the lift gate for both trucks.
Okay.
Doing it this way, we can have the gates installed and take delivery when we're done. If you go through the state, not to drag this out, if you go through the state, maybe you could have the truck. But then the truck has to go get the gate put on it, and you're into a few months difference.
Okay.
So.
Any other discussions? Hearing none, roll call please.
Stiles. Ludeman.
Yes.
Newton.
Yes.
Solosky.
Yes.
Hurtado.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item item F, seeking motion to award the bid for the one new 2013-2014 one-ton 4x4 fixed-side pickup truck. Do I have a motion?
I'll second.
Discussion? No? Hearing none, roll call please.
Stiles. Ludeman.
Yes.
Newton.
Yes.
Solosky.
Yes.
Hurtado.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Action item G, seeking motion to approve resolution 2013-12, a resolution authorizing the termination of the lease of the vacant land. Do I have a motion?
I'd like to make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion.
I would like to know why, because this project has been in the works for quite some time. Some of the work on the site's already been done. As the two public comment people indicated, they've done a lot of work in planning into this. We have, as a park district, money's been invested. Why would we scrap this? I don't understand.
I can answer that. Mainly it's the cost. Cost associated with this. Originally, when we ordered this last year,
Can you speak this way so we can hear too, please?
originally when we bought it last year, I was not aware of the cost that was going to be involved in this. I just found out that the cost we were looking at somewhere around close to $1 million. Even though we're going to try to get some grant to reduce that to probably $500,000, it's still $500,000 is way too much. If we get the grant, it's $500,000. If we don't get the grant, it's another $1 million. And I think we should be able to put a market on $1 million.
It's a park that's going to offer some things that aren't available. We have nice parks at Village Green. We don't have that many of those particular amenities anywhere else in the district. And the area, as one of the commenters suggested, doesn't have a lot of park availability like some of our other areas do. I don't understand. Yes, developing a park costs money, and that's why we applied for grants, and that was always part of the plan. The land is being